Hey, I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day considering the circumstances. Um, it is not a happy 4th of July today. It is a very, very sad, very dismal feeling 4th of July for many, many people because we are in the midst of a breakdown of our country. And I know that a lot of people do not believe that, but I certainly do believe that. A lot of things are going to be taken away from people that need them, such as insurance, such as medical equipment, and the right to work, and a bunch of other things, just because this administration does not consider certain people people. And they continue all these mass deportations and all of this rhetoric against certain people groups because of, excuse me, my eye itches. Because of their uneducated thoughts and feelings about who these people are, when they're not even doing their research to find out who the real bad people are. They are just assuming by the looks of people that they are bad. And a lot of that is going to go on, or yes, is going to go on with the disability community as well, because everybody who is disabled and on Medicaid or Medicare, or no, Medicaid or Medi-Cal, it's called Medi-Cal if you're in California, but anybody who is a disabled person that is on it or related to somebody that is on it will suffer greatly when they need to get something, or when they need a health treatment, or just because things are expensive and not all people can pay for their equipment out of pocket. And so I just thank you for joining, even though you can't stay. So anyways, I am so angry, and I know I talk about Judy Heumann a lot on this podcast because she was the mother of the disability rights movement, or I would say she still is, because she's still watching over all of us that she left in charge to continue on her movement that she started. And for those of you who might not know, you guys, the disability rights movement started because Judy was discriminated against because of her disability. Because of the way she looked, she was perceived as a person that would not be a good teacher, that would not be able to look out for children, that would actually put them in danger. And she was denied the right to become a teacher in the state of New York. So she did not lay down and die. She sued the state of New York for a teaching license. She had went to college to get all of the things she needed to get, fell in line, and she was able to become a teacher according to her school. But because of her disability, because of the way she looked and got around, she was denied the right to be a teacher. So when she was 22, she sued the state of New York for the right to become a teacher, and guess what? She won. And she became the first teacher ever with a disability in the United States and in the state of New York. And also concerning New York, she shut down Manhattan. She shut down Manhattan with 49 of her friends. There were 50 of her friends that blocked off the street in Manhattan that led to Nixon's headquarters. When Nixon was running for president, his headquarters was on a street in Manhattan, and they sat on that street and they blocked it off and they shut down the city. Now, you sit here and you tell me, if you are listening to this, sit here and tell me what that sounds like. Does that sound like a people group that is weak? Or does that sound like a people group that can stand up for themselves even though they can't stand up? Some of them. You guys, we are in the midst of going completely backwards in time, because all of our rights are in danger. And if we do not keep speaking up, like many people have been saying, and I have to give a shout out one more time to the Oz vlog, Victoria. You have done such an amazing job of your comparisons between Oz and everything that is going on right now. Specifically because the part of Wicked where Dr. Dillerman gets taken away, he says, "You could take away my job, but I will continue speaking out." The only way we are going to beat this thing, this horrible, uneducated thing, is to keep speaking out. We cannot stay silent. And Judy back in the 70s knew that they could not stay silent. Her and her friends knew that they could not stay silent. And what happened because they didn't stay silent? We as disabled people got the right to go to school in the 70s and be educated as people that can learn things, that can hold in information and pass it on to other people. We got the right to, in the 90s when I was a kid, to play with our friends that were more than two friends and explore everything that a kid could explore. And we got the right to, those of us who were older and those of us who came after them, got the right to go to college and get decent medical treatment, because all of these things were accessible. And in more recent history, I know that this wasn't a thing that had to get voted on per se, like in Congress or anything like that, but we got the right to be on a Broadway stage. And I always bring up my sister Ellie Stroker as well, because she was literally a trailblazer who stood up for us to say that we can play strong, powerful roles. And so playing a strong, powerful role should not be the only thing that happens with us on stage. Playing a strong, powerful role should be things like this, like me talking to you on this podcast. And so we should not be afraid to speak up for our rights, but we should continue speaking out for our rights, because the people, the little ones who are coming behind us, are gonna see how we handled it. And we cannot stay silent, because we need to be an example for them. We need to talk about and yell about some points about what this administration is doing to us and tell the truth about it. There are so many people in this in this country that think what this administration is doing is so good. But in reality, it is so stupid and uneducated. Because, like I said before, they are only considering a small group of people. And that has happened before. That cannot happen again. It is happening again, but it needs to stop. So you guys, when the ADA was passed, we got the right to do any job. It says that we got the right to do any job that we are fit for. Meaning that if we could physically pull something off, we have the right to do that job. It means that we have the right to have stable and proper housing. It means that we have the right to go to school. It means that we have the right to access beautiful things in our communities, such as theaters, movie theaters, restaurants, hospitals even. Because there was a time where hospitals would turn away somebody with a disability because they did not want to make that place accessible, or there was a time also when our lives did not matter, so they would let us pass away because, oh, that person was disabled, poor them. Death must be a better experience than any life they're living. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live with an administration like that. I want to be one of the people that fights for her rights, that fights for the rights of my friends. And I am so committed to doing that. So committed to doing that. Especially now, since I've been in my 5 years of self-acceptance and mental recovery and just the recovery from all the grief that has been put on me by society. And I don't include my family or friends in that group that put me through that grief, but to those people who say, what's wrong with you? Or can you be fixed? Or are you going to therapy? Yes, I do all those things. I do go to therapy. I do, keep up with my exercises when I want to. And basically, that is only once a week. Shh, don't tell my therapist. But, my life is worth living. All of our lives are worth living. It doesn't matter our skin color. It doesn't matter our disabilities or not, or non-disabilities. It doesn't matter if you are a living, breathing person. You matter. And so, you guys, I just wanted to say that I am so tired of people being treated like second-class citizens. It is ridiculous. And I want to repeat myself and say that I will continue this fight for as long as I can. I am so beyond overjoyed that Judy knew about this podcast. When I met her, it was one of the best days of my life. Because she told me to keep going. And she actually thanked me. Little old me, she actually thanked me. But you guys, I did not have anything written down. I am totally 100% speaking from my heart right now. But I just wanted to say, everybody matters. And nobody should be considered illegal. Nobody should be considered ugly, because there was once a thing called the ugly laws, where if you were a certain way physically, if you had a physical disability and you had the potential to repulse somebody else, you would be arrested for being out in the community. You guys, we cannot go back to that. We need to fight it. We need to fight it for the next generation, just the way Judy and her friends fought for it for us. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. I know that I got a little off track from what I wanted to say. I really wanted to do the history of the ADA, just like one of my biggest supporters asked me to. But I felt that this was more important. I hope you stand in solidarity with every single marginalized community that there is, if you are not part of one. And know that we are strong. Take the disability community, for example. Just because we live life differently does not mean we are weak. It actually takes a lot of strength to live this life. And I'm not saying that to say, oh, poor me, I go through such hard times. But it does. It takes a lot of physical and spiritual strength to live this life. I could go deeper into it, but I'm not going to today because I'm not in the mood to cry. I'm not in the mood to get any more angry than I have gotten right now. But things need to be changed in this country. And I think a good dose of it would be if Mr. Trump had to do something like the other side of the chair and experience life with a disability for a week and a half. And I don't think it can handle it. But if he experienced that, maybe his heart and his mind would change. I don't know. I'm not God. So, I don't know. It's just something to think about. We need to put this administration through every single thing that they are trying to throw at us and see how they like it. Anyways, you guys, I hope you have a blessed day. I will talk to you later. Right now I'm just hanging out. But I am going to go watch the Dodger game in about an hour. So, and from the comfort of my living room, I'm not actually going to go to the game. But I just hope you have a great, great day. Despite our circumstances. I hope you're holding on to your loved ones. And stand in solidarity with the communities that need it, because we are facing hard, hard times right now. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you later. Please continue to let me know what you want me to talk about on this podcast for Disability Pride Month, the month of July. I mean, it's always fitting for me to talk about disability on this podcast because I am a disabled woman. But for the month of July, for Disability Pride Month, I want to talk about whatever you want me to talk about. I know that I've gotten requests to go back to talking about dance more. And I do that on Saturdays. So I will definitely do that. And an exciting announcement on that note, when we walk out of the studio tomorrow, the studio is a bare space right now because it's being prepped for a makeover. So, tomorrow is going to be the last day that you are going to see those gray walls. If you've seen a dance video of mine, you know what our room looks like. So you are going to see an entirely different room in the next couple weeks. But also in the next couple weeks, next week, we will not be in the studio. We will be at Rolette's Experience on Saturday. And we are blessed enough to take some of the team with us to be assistants in the kids class. So I am so looking forward to that. My classmates are performing in the talent show on Wednesday. I'm the only one in my class who is not performing in the talent show. But I will be there probably screaming my head off for my classmates. And just pouring so much love into each and every one of them. Anyways, you guys, I will talk to you later. I love you. Stay close to your friends and be kind to people that aren't kind because they probably don't know what kindness, they probably don't know what true kindness feels like. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.